Hello everybody, welcome back to Coaches Co-Creating, episode 7. My name's Jasmine and I'm a coactive transitional life coach.
And my name's Amanda and I'm a coactive business coach.
And today we're going to talk about allies. What is an ally, Amanda?
Okay, so in the context of yourself, if you think about all of the voices that you might hear in your head, there are some negative ones and there are some very positive ones. And we call the positive ones our allies. So what's an ally's purpose, Jasmine? Can you tell us?
So I guess an ally is an energy that we can tap into at any given time. So maybe we need to feel confident. We've got an important meeting or something, or we're doing a speech. So we can create this energy. We can name it, and then just at the time we need it, we can tap into it, and it will help us at that moment. And we can have so many allies, can't we? There's so many that we can have.
I was going to say, because I suppose, like you say, they all fit a different purpose. So, and I know that CTI, the constellation they give us, there's definitely very different names, aren't there? There's different ones that take different roles, if you like, but they aren't limited to those number. We can create as many as we want.
Exactly.
So, do you have any ones that you are your favourites? Maybe, I don't know.
I guess the number one that I tap into is my inner leader, definitely. Okay. Like we spoke about that before, didn't we? But I guess the ally that I tap into the most would be the intuitive one. And that's the one I tap into when I need to make a big decision. And when I tap into this energy, it helps me make the right decision for me. And I've called mine Starlight.
Which I think is really lovely, because I've only just named my ally, my intuitive one ally. And the word that came to me, the name that came to me was Stella. So I think it's quite interesting that we both chosen sort of stars really as for our intuitive one. And that was independent of knowing each other's names, wasn't it? So that's quite funny. Interesting.
Maybe because the star leads the way. I don't know.
Maybe. I think it was just interesting that you were saying that it's when you need to make a really big decision that, that's when you call in that ally. And I wonder if it's because we all feel that need to have that intuitive light on when we are making those big life choices.
Yeah, probably.
But it's quite handy, like you say, if you can tap into that energy and have it on cord almost.
Yeah, and you can tap into, there's no limit, is there, to how many allies you can have. You can have an ally to make yourself feel more appreciated, an ally to give you clarity. I have allies for that as well. There's no limit to what you can have the ally for. But how do you connect to your allies?
Well, I think it varies from individual to individual, and I think circumstances might dictate that you can't always do this. But I always find, especially if it's an ally that requires me to be quiet, I tend to try and find a space where I can be on my own and then connect. Especially when we're talking about the intuitive one, because that's where I always feel I need peace and quiet. I need to be able to just tune in almost and listen carefully, because I don't know about you, but I always see my allies as maybe little images of me, but the intuitive one is definitely the one in the corner not speaking. It's not the loudest of the pack at all. So you always have to say to the intuitive one, can you step forward please and let me know what you think? It sounds a little bit nuts at the moment, I think, but actually that's the way that I see it. Is kind of you have to be quiet so you can hear what that one says. But like I said, I think it varies from person to person. And I think, if you were maybe on a football team, you're in a football game, and you need to tap into something to, you're stepping up to take a penalty, and you need to tap into something to give you that courage, belief, whatever it is that you need. Then obviously you can't say to the auditorium, you're just going to be quiet, please. I've got to, tap in now. You have to find a way yourself to just tune in. And that doesn't necessarily mean everybody has to be quiet, but you have to find the wherewithal to find that process yourself.
Exactly.
I think once you've learned it, it becomes like a rhythm. It's habitual. You can do it quite easily, and
I think that's about the benefits of these allies, isn't it? I mean, knowing that we can tap into them, being aware of these allies, and like you said, it takes practice to tap into them. Sometimes it will take you longer, but once you get into a rhythm and make it a habit, you can just say, right, okay, today I need whatever, like you said, courage. Okay, right. And then you can tap into it quite quickly. So it can be life-changing.
Yeah, I love that though, because you've almost made that articulated like it's an intention. So you've used your ally to give you an intention for the way you want to show up. Wow. And I think that's really powerful, because you're not only tapping into part of yourself to engage that personality, but also you set the intention that's how it's going to be. And I think that's, in itself is very, very useful as a way of living.
Exactly. And I think it's life-changing, all of this, tapping into different energies. Energy is huge, isn't it? I mean,
there's so much we've got to learn yet about it, but it's I think what's the most interesting thing is that we can all get caught in our own internal dialogue, and it can be, sort of very heavy sometimes, and particularly if things aren't going well for us, and particularly in the current circumstances, it would be very easy to feed into a negative dialogue, and how is this going to ever work itself out? And I think if you've got people on your team literally in your own head helping you to speak differently and hear things differently, then I think that's very powerful.
No, exactly. So I think that's it for today.
Yep, I think it is. I hope that's opened people's eyes a little bit about allies, and informed them, that it might sort of even kind of spark some interest, I think, on finding out more about your own allies. And if you want to do that, we are both available for coaching. Jasmine, you do more life coaching, don't you? Whereas I do more business coaching. So that's
more transition. If you're looking to change something, or you're ready for a change and not sure what, we can work together and find out the next best step for you. And you can contact me on withnava.com.
Yeah, and equally with me, I do business coaching and mentoring, and my website is happycoach.co.uk, so you can contact me there. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Great.
We will see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.